This is the world of company secretaries. On this channel, you can watch interviews with company secretaries across the world. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon. Can you share a little bit of your experience about your job with Nishchit Desai, and what are the kind of role you were doing there, and how did that help your personal growth in terms of your knowledge? If you could
Oh,
share that, that will be helpful.
of course, of course. As I said, Mr. Sundaresan actually put me on internship over there. Internship in the sense I was,
Deputed over there.
deputed over there for
Okay.
some time, and that gave me a lot of exposure because the law is always ask you questions, which makes you read the law basically. But
Yes.
they always come up with the ways to do things because you need to do the right thing for the client. You need to advise the client, but you need to advise them within the framework of the law. You cannot do anything which is illegal or anything of that sort.
Yeah.
So they always come to an expert in company law, asking them, how can we do this? Tell me ways in which this can be done. And if you are wrong, they will catch you because they know the law as well. They read it and they know where to find out. So when they go through it and when they ask you, you need to be on par with them. You need to be on the same page with them. So that means you need to be really good at CS. You need to really put in efforts. It's not easy because learning the law is very difficult, but it's more of learning the law and interpretation of the law. That is more important as well, even in company law. You see, Nishit Desai gave me a lot of exposure in the sense they took me for audits. I
Okay.
went to Mysore. There was this transaction happening that time when I was interning with them. It was an aluminium company which was being taken over by a Japanese company. So imagine, I was getting to learn about FEMA. I was getting to know about labor law. I was getting to know about corporate structuring. I was getting
Yeah.
to know about dividend distribution. I was getting to know about a lot of things. When you actually look at it, these are chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the company law. But when you're
Exactly.
actually physically there, you are like doing all of this at the same time, and that much, you're learning. You're actually
Yeah.
feeling what you're studying. So that gave me a lot of experience, a freedom, knowledge, and then better understanding of the laws. That's why I recommend doing the internship. You feel that doing the internship is not great and it's just a waste of time. No, that is wrong. You have to do your internship because reading the book and writing the exam is one part. When you're living through the internship, that's a completely different experience. You
Exactly.
need to go through that.
True. In fact, I'm very happy Sujay brought this point because what he's trying to say is that whatever you study is actually what you'll be working. So it's just like a doctor. So doctor cannot say, I'll never treat a patient, I'll become first rank doctor. That's never going to work.
Mm.
You have to work in the real world. And like Sujay shared his experience in just one transaction, he got to practically experience the entire company law, whether it is the corporate structuring or the FEMA angle coming into picture, labor laws. So this is the gap which I feel students should really pay attention to, because it is not just that you write some exam and pass, and that should not be your only focus, because end of the day whatever you're writing or studying is to make sure your basics are right when you actually start working, like Sujay just shared his experience in Nishchit Desai. So next I would like to ask you, like, how did you even think that okay, a CS can work abroad, or how did that move to UAE and Dubai happen? And what was your thought process? Can you share that journey and what happened then?
Sure. That also was, actually, I opportunity knocks. That's all I can say, because when you're prepared, opportunity knocks. Because what
Exactly.
happened is when I was in Nishid Desai, I finished my CS. I was working with them. I got an offer letter as well from them,
Hmm.
saying that continue with the Swift corporate incorporation services. And there I had my boss, Mr. Ramachandran. I cannot, have to name all them because they are the ones who made my life what it is as of today. Mr. Ramachandran was a very senior person in the firm, and he actually referred me to Dubai. His
Okay.
was actually working in the company in Dubai in Mercury Hamlin, and they referred me as the company secretary for UAE aspects. Now that came
Okay.
as a shock to me because when he talked to me about this for the first time, I was like, "What am I going to do in Dubai?" I know only Indian law. I know
Correct.
Indian corporate law. I'm doing very well for myself in Nishid Desai. They offered me a job and it's a permanent status and all that, so it's good. And life was really good. So why should I leave everything over here and go to Dubai? And the thing he said is, Sujay, see, the thing is, in life, you get different opportunities. And if
Yeah.
you don't take them, you might regret them in the later stage, of life. So what he suggested is go and see how it is. If you don't like, always you can come back to India. You can practice as a CS and, as a lawyer, whatever you want, you can do. But go there and see how it is. And I was like, at the back of my mind, I was thinking, honestly, I was thinking, I'll go there for a month, see Dubai, have nice time, and then come back after 1 month to book a return flight and come back.
Okay.
But I have zero knowledge of Dubai law, so I cannot do anything over here. That is how I thought when I
Okay.
came here for the first time. And
So
today, 8 years later, I'm still here.
yeah, yeah. So I think correct. So one thing which I noticed when Sujay was speaking was he was telling the role of his mentors. That is whether he told training with Sundareshan sir or then later in Nishchit Desai with Ramachandran sir and some of the other lawyers that he worked with. So again, the student should pay attention to this, saying that it's a journey and things will start happening, like Sujay said, when you're prepared and when you're ready.
Yeah.
So keeping that in mind, Sujay, you said about the laws. This is one common question students say that if a company secretary wants to work anywhere abroad, what about the laws? So at least in terms of UAE, can you share how different it is or what is the nature of work, how the law is different? Can you share that?
Yes, yes, yes. See, UAE from a legal standpoint, there are two parts. There is civil law, then there is common law, British common law.
Okay,
Civil law comes from the French side, and the British common law comes from the UK, which we in India follow the same, the legal
very
formats as
similar.
well. Yes.
Yeah.
So from a UAE standpoint, there is a commercial act of 1985, which we
Okay.
Commercial Companies Act of 1985, which needs to be adhered, but that has been amended quite some time. The recent amendment was in 2018. So
So,
there again,
so that is your equivalent to Companies Act 2013?
yes, that
Okay,
is the
fine.
equivalent to Companies Act 2013.
Sure.
The advantage over here is in the UAE per se, there are not many laws, especially when it comes to companies law, because there's no taxation. There are
Correct.
few laws, which is the companies law, then there's labor law, then there is foreign direct investment law.
Okay.
But there is no like FEMA or RBI Act or nothing of that sort. You don't need to
Okay.
go through all of those things. So
Sure.
basically, you need to focus on Commercial Companies Act and the FDI Act and the Labor Act. These are the three main laws that you
Okay.
focus when you're here. And it's not very different from India or UK, because when you step out of India, you need to know that what is good thing worldwide is most of the countries they follow the British common law,
Okay.
or the legislature, the version of the format. If you go to Singapore, if you go to UK, if you go to UAE for that matter, or any other major countries that you work with, for example Kenya, South Africa, you work on any transactions over there, or even Hong Kong for that matter, they understand the English common law, the British common law, the format. So it's more or less the same thing, the resolutions that you do, the
Mhm.
meetings, the laws, the penalties. The penalties can vary on a case to case basis, but it is more or less the same. If you do this, this is the compliance level. If you don't do this, this is the compliance level. So these ways it's not very difficult to understand the
Mhm.
different laws of different countries, and of course you get a lot of exposure as well in
Mhm.
that front.
So, from what I can understand, is the basic concepts and principles remain the same. Of
Yes.
course, the specific laws or the sections or the clauses is country specific. So the
Yes.
framework remains same, and that should really not stop you from working anywhere in the world if you get the
Correct.
opportunity. Is that right?
That is correct. That is correct.
Okay.
You will be able to adapt easily, relatively easily. You'll be able to adapt to any other legal system.